your future for sure.
Thanks.
Make it show. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Honesty. We met when North Carolina got wind of this recovery community organization business, and we were going to go about starting our own RCO in North Carolina, and we wanted to come visit folks who were killing it. And naturally, we came up to visit McShin Foundation in Richmond, and I still remember that day. It was awesome.
Yeah, just recovering people, helping recovering people. It's pretty, we keep it real around here, pretty authentic for sure.
Authentic is a word that y'all drive home, and I feel it when you say it, and it reminds me to say it more and mean it more too. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Sure. So I am first and foremost a woman in long-term recovery from a substance use disorder, aka addiction. And for that, gosh, I've been May 27, 2007 since then.
Right on.
And yeah, my life is pretty amazing, to be honest with you, since I found recovery. So I am the CEO of the McShin Foundation. So we are a peer-to-peer recovery community organization here in Richmond, Virginia. McShin helped to save my life. So I walked through the doors when I was 26 years old. I had 2 bags of clothes. My daughter was 5 and I did not have her. And John took me in. John Shinholzer is the co-founder, and his wife, Carol McDade. A lot of people know them.
Yes.
And took me in with nothing. I had nothing basically, and lived in the female house for 5 months. And then I started working here. So I've been working here officially 14 years. Whoa. And I've been the CEO for 8 years. I know. I was telling someone at the doctor, because for some reason, because I talk about my recovery everywhere I go, like sure. This is who I am. And, it's just been a lot lately, like medical professionals I've been going to see and stuff. It's so much, addiction is just everywhere. Mm-hmm. And it's been really cool to be able to like share my story about that, but also like, see like 15 years in May I'll have. I'm just like, wait, I still look like a little girl, but I don't know. It's just crazy saying like almost 15 years in recovery. I don't know. It's been a journey for sure. So I'm a mom, a wife, I have I'm an entrepreneur. I've got a side kind of business with John as my partner. And now I'm a published author. So
yeah. Oh, we're going to talk about that. Yes,
sure.
Because when we publish this episode will be, I believe, the release date for your new work.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Well, and what's your name?
Honesty. Did I not say that? I'm Honesty Liller.
Honesty Liller. Welcome. Well, no thanks, but yes is video podcast, Splendid People, multiple pathways of recovery, chill conversations. And so you and I have been running into each other off and on ever since that first fateful meeting through Association of Recovery Community Organizations and other national events. So you identify as a person in recovery, and you were already describing some really beautiful colors and stuff of your life. But I ask everyone on here, what does recovery mean to you?
For me, it's trying to live literally the best life that I can on a day-to-day basis. I'm a big believer on taking away the drugs is one thing, but really diving into your soul and what that really means as being a human on this planet is really how I try to live on a day-to-day basis. And what that means to me is like learning about myself every day, whether it's something that I said or something that I did, whether it was positive or negative, and like really learning about that, but also incorporating that in my household with my children, because they're the next generation, as well as the new staff and the younger staff here at McShin. So it's so much more. It's really walking in your purpose and whatever that may be for you. And it took me a long time in recovery, because I mean, I started working here when I was 5 months in recovery. I mean, let's get real. I had no idea what I was doing. John saw a little something in me, you know, and hired me. And then throughout all of these years, you know, I was strictly 12-step in the beginning for a lot of my years in recovery, and I still do it. I do not go to meetings anymore, but I do do step work. But the past few years, I'm really focused on healing my body from the inside and, you know, from the outside, as far as exercising, mindfulness, running is my favorite thing to do, and really just being present in the moments instead of constantly going. I mean, we get these lives that give us gifts and give us so-called hats to wear. But I think for me, as I'm getting older, is really valuing like what life is really supposed to be to me, not to society, but to me. And it took me probably about year 12-ish in my recovery to really kind of unpack that, you know, and I thought I did all that through all those years. So again, recovery's just evolved for me. It's a much more simpler, I guess, beautiful, more place for me right now.
I love it. I love it. I am in my 17th year of recovery and have a very similar experience to your own. And a lot of the guests on this show talk about an evolving sense of recovery. Greg Williams called it a deepening, which
Yeah,
was cool.
totally.
And many of our pathways have also evolved. I too was much more enmeshed in the 12-step culture of first 10 years, but for the past 7 years, I've been engaging in alternative mutual aid but still connected with my fellows. Tell me a little bit more about what you do for fun.
Sure. So fun. I mean, definitely exercise is fun for me. I just got a Peloton bike a few for my birthday in October, and I love it. And I'm obsessed with the app and everything. So that is fun with me. It used to be not fun. I used to have horrible body image. And that's a whole thing in my book on how I've evolved and pretty much am in about a 97% awesomeness with that now.
Nice.
But really fun to me is the beach is my favorite as my background. I wish I was there. I love running on the beach, but really just laughing, watching a good movie or a show with my husband. And we're starting to do puzzles now with my 12-year-old son. So that's interesting. And what else? I really love going to the movies. That is like one of my favorite things, is physically going to a movie. And I don't really eat many snacks at the movies, but just the feeling of it. And gosh, what else do? We do a ton of stuff, really laughing, just surrounding myself with people that make me like really belly laugh. And I love being outside. So whether it's, you know, going for a hike or a run or the zoo or like whatever, I really enjoy as the sun comes out. As soon as I'm saying this, it's like pouring on me. That is a God thing, but I really enjoy being outside. And again, it's like, you know, just trying to find things that are different. I told my husband I'm taking him to Florida in a couple weeks because my grandpa just died, so we had to push it. But well, where was I going with that? Oh, I was like, we need to do something. Yeah, we need to do something like, you know, adrenaline rush, or like, let's just do something new, you know, and I want to do like paddle boarding but he's like, there's alligators. So we're trying to figure that out, and like big manatees and stuff. So just something, I think every human should just try something new, you know, that's positive, obviously, and change. But I really like to just kind of do different things that are new to me too. But definitely laughing is in being around cool people that make you laugh.
And yeah, there are gators down yonder, and manatees. That's just like swimming with cows. They're cool.
Yeah.
I lived down there for a while in the Navy. It was wonderful. So you got a book coming out. Oh my goodness. Congratulations, author. Tell me about that book.
So, all right, I manifested the book. I truly did. So about 3 years ago-ish, I really just switched some things around in my life. So I started following like these awesome women on Instagram and like just these positive women and authors. And I started really starting to read and not just like recovery literature, but like all these women that are just telling their stories, impactful, traumatic, beautiful. And so I started following them. And then I was like, wait, like I can do this, or do I want to do this? So it was so much back and forth. I took about a year to do that outline because my brain, I like to have structure. And so I did the outline for about a year. And then I did this, one of my friends, she's amazing, named Sarah Daves, check her out. But her son, we connected because her son came through McShin like forever ago. And then, she's open about her story. He ended up passing away years later from an overdose. And, we just connected on a spiritual level from that. And so I took her program. It's called Manifest Like a Goddess. So I was like, what is this? Like, I know
Wow.
I'm a queen and I love, being a woman, but what is this? So it really took and dove deep. And this is kind of like when my pathways kind of evolved, is really, I was learning my masculine and feminine side throughout her program, and learn about the goddesses and all of that super cool stuff that I never knew about. I just kind of knew of a little bit, but like Zeus, like the men, but the women I learned a lot about. And then really like unpacking how I work and how my brain works as a human and as a woman, but also with the masculine tendencies that I have. So then I was like, okay. So anyway, that was like, I don't know, 8 months or so. I don't know all these exact dates. And I did that program and I still was like manifesting it. And I started following Gabby Bernstein, and she does a ton on manifestation, and she's in recovery too. And in all this, I was like, all right, and then it's like all that self-doubt. I will never be her. I will never be Glennon Doyle. I will never be these, famous writers or authors, women in recovery too, mind you, that are awesome. And then I was like, well, now is the time to kind of like do it. And then it was about another year. I was just, God brought all these people and like these signs into my life. So I'm in this networking group, and this woman kept coming. She's super bubbly, and she's a publisher. She has her own publishing company and editing company. And,
Wow.
I just felt like it was like signs. I'm a believer in signs. I'm a believer in a spiritual presence. I'm a believer in all of that. So I was like, all right. So she kept coming. I was like, let me just at least, talk to her. So I talked to her, and then she developed a payment plan for me, so I didn't have to pay all up front. I was like, okay, check that box. And then finally, it was just like, it just kind of all evolved. And then one day, I'll be honest, I was on the couch talking to my husband about it for the 7,000th time. And he's looked at me and said, write the effing book. So that was pretty much it. And I just started writing. I just, and I'm not like this big, again, Glennon Doyle, just this beautiful writer, I mean, I'm pretty okay, but I don't consider myself like this magnificent, but I'm okay at it. I'm pretty decent. So I started writing just every week. I would go into because we have a super little small rancher, which I adore. And I just went into my bedroom and I had to type on my bed, or I turned our son's old playroom into my gym/meditation room. So just at my meditation table, and I had to have my beats on with ocean music though. That was something that was very like my mojo. So just blast the ocean and start typing. So it took me like 10 months to actually like write it. And I had the editor the whole time. So she's awesome. Her name is Maria, and she works for KWE Publishing. And she just, we met over Zoom, and I just wrote, and we did this and that. And it was hard though. It was very traumatic. I'll be honest with you, because it's my life. So from childhood, and then there's a lot of trauma there, and then addiction at a young age, and then recovery. But even after the recovery piece started, there's so much that I've been through that the world doesn't know in recovery that, well, they're about to find out in a few days. But like I say from the beginning, like being the best human that you can be, like throughout my recovery process, there's been so many things that have happened in my marriage, in my life, here with John and I, that makes you really, either quit and run away or really work hard to really dig deep into your soul in order to heal, but also come out the other side of it to have the most beautiful life you can possibly literally have. But yeah, I mean, it is a super quick read. John read it. So John and Carol, I wanted to read it to, and I sent it to Ryan. So my blurbs and, the people that did the blurbs, and John called me the next day. He's like, we need to make a movie out of this. How he does. He's like, because he was right. He was saying like, because I've watched a ton of addiction movies. I mean, there's beautiful documentaries and but there's not a lot of like movies where it's like a woman, number one, going through what she goes through, but also like becomes a female leader in the community, And I'm like, all right, I'm just like, okay, I'm going to see where God takes me. Everyone's asking me like, what's next and there's nothing, but what's next is promoting the book, being a mom, being the CEO here, like still doing the book isn't my full-time job. Like I still have a ton of other things that I need to accomplish. So sure. I'm just a believer, like you reaching out and like just other people, and it was just, it's just going to kind of happen organically. I mean, I'm putting in a lot of work too, like at night, I was up, like last night. And anyway, so it's a lot of work you still have to do, but I just feel like this is going to help, of course, men, but totally help women,
Absolutely.
Look, I'm surrounded by death here. Bottom line, like we're surrounded, specifically the past 2 years.
Indeed.
So I'm hoping this book like really shines some light on some things that women go through that are scared to death to like talk to their husbands about, or partners, or talk to, their friends, and stuff, because there's a lot of that still going on in our society. They're scared to speak their mind and scared to tell like what's going on in their home because they're going to be judged. Because I know, God knows I'm going to be judged from this book. I have no question, and I'm good with it. You'll see. But the good thing about who Honesty Liller is and who I've become is really, I mean, I care what people think, because I can't say I don't, but it's right. Also like, if I have haters or trolls is what they call it, like it is what it is. I'm still going home to my husband, my kids, this beautiful job. Like it is what it is. You know what I mean? You
still living in your purpose.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
Well, it's just like you also, like before I wrote the book, and if anyone's inspired by this and wants to write, it was like that negative, what's so special about me, what, no one's gonna buy it. I would cry to my husband with tears, like all this stuff. I mean, such an emotional process. But in reality of it is, it's like it was very healing for me. And if that's what it does, then that's what it does for me, in order for me to be the best human and happiest and joyous and beautiful, to help the others that walk through McShin's door, or my children and their lives. And then eventually they're, so it's like, that was a part of my human process that I needed to do to really grow in some areas that honestly, I thought I had already been done with, or like, came out the other side. But as I was writing the book, it was really some deep stuff in there that I wasn't forgiving myself or others 100% until I really kind of put it out to the world.
Well, oh, what a treat. It's been good to get back together with you. It's been too long, and I'm excited to read the book. I'm excited to share this episode with everybody, and I hope to come up to your neck of the woods really soon, just because.
We would love to have you. Yeah, we have our recovery month event September 10th, smoking meat, not drugs. We're back to the barbecue this year. So
right on.
Yeah, come on. But thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Lovely talk. And yeah, thank you for the support.
Absolutely. Peace out.
Peace.
Right.